Hi guys, my name is Claire Mika and welcome to another episode of Our Space. Today with me I have
Uzadima Dumebi, aka Dumslain It.
And the topic we're going to be discussing today is expressing yourself isn't equals to being rude. So before we go on, Dumebi, can you tell us a little more about yourself?
Well, my name is Dumebi. I'm also known as Dumslain It. I love dancing, I love modeling, I love fashion designing. I especially love dancing, and one day I want to be the biggest and the best dancer yet.
Like, I used to know how to dance when I was smaller, but then I don't know, I think I got fat. Okay.
No, I mean, fat people dance too.
Yeah,
You're not fat,
but
actually.
just not me. Just not me. Anyway, so moving on to the topic. So have you ever had any experience, like have you ever had any adult, parent, teacher, like mistake you being like expressive as you being rude?
Not me though, but my best friend. She was having a class. She didn't understand what the teacher was saying, and she was like, "Oh yes, sir, I don't understand." The man thought she was being rude, and then he started insulting her, and then he sent her out of the class
In front of everybody.
in front of everybody.
Oh, God.
So she came crying to me because it was very embarrassing. I mean, she was among her peers, and she came crying to me, and that's okay. This man, Mr. XYZ, stuff like that. So I was like, oh yeah, that why would he do this type of thing that doesn't actually make sense? Because
One of my teachers in school, I'm just gonna leave it at that. He is, I don't know, he's a nice man, but then in like while trying to be nice to us, I think he just allows his insecurity shine through. Like I think that's what most of the teachers do, because they're just afraid of either like being caught lacking, because most of these days a lot of people in classes don't know how to cooperate. Any small thing they'll just go home.
That's
Oh
true.
yeah, mom, my teacher does not
That's
know how
true.
to do this, my teacher doesn't know how to do that. So I think that's what they're scared of. They are not wrong, but at the same time they just don't approach it correctly. So like, how did the matter end up with your friend?
Well, at the end of the day, the teacher apologized to her because I guess the teacher
That's
actually
like very
apologized.
rare. So the fact that he apologized, you can tell they have good intentions. So like, what did he do? Did he like bribe, like, oh
No, we were working together, like we were passing his office, so he just called her. I was like, "Oh, Dumebi, this your friend? She did this, but
Yeah.
I'm sorry. She was with me. That and well, I'm sorry. So that's how I just said it.
Like-
I was like, wow.
a teacher in my school, he actually slapped someone. He slapped a girl, but that girl, she needed, I don't want to say she needed to be slapped, but then the way she was speaking to him, and even the way she speaks to us, like her friends, not really friends, but like the other students in the
She's
school,
bossy?
you can just, not bossy, but I don't know. She deserved the slap. I'll just say, like, the slap wasn't to like hurt her, but just like to humble her.
Exactly.
But he ended up apologizing, and I feel like that was very nice and very like mature of him. So like, have you had like any like elders, any parents, anybody telling you, oh, you're rude, you're this?
African aunties.
Always. They're always
African aunties.
they're
will
always
be
on
African
something.
aunties.
Exactly.
So I mean, love instances.
But none that you remember.
Not that I remember.
There's this particular person. I walked into her room to see her, and she was like, "Do you know you're getting so fat? I thought you said you were losing weight. You're getting so fat."
What's that?
And I was like, "No, ma'am, I've actually been trying to lose weight, and personally, I think I've lost like a lot of weight, because in January I was like 10 kg heavier than I am right now." And I was like, "Oh ma'am, I've actually lost a lot of weight." And she was like, "I'm the one seeing you. I know what I'm saying." I'm like, "I'm not trying to challenge you. I just don't like the way you're bringing me down or whatever."
I'm sure she was
I don't know. And she thought I was rude, and she didn't apologize. She didn't do nothing. That's why I was kind of surprised when you said that teacher apologized.
So you mentioned your mom's friend who was complaining about your weight, and how did it end?
So my mom actually stood up for me, like she intervened, and she was telling her that no, my daughter is not rude.
Wow.
She does exactly.
I like that.
But the thing is, my mom hasn't always been like this. There was a major thing. Like my mom always says, something has to happen for something to happen. So the thing that happened, I just got like a MacBook at that time, like a really nice, clean, slick MacBook. And my mom was always saying, you're gonna be the one to crack it, you're gonna be the one to break it. No, don't keep it here, don't keep it beside this, don't keep it beside that. And she was just always being so, and I was like, it's fine, don't worry, I won't crack it. So I had just woken up from a nap, and then she came into the room and she was like, there's dust on this your laptop, and she was just shouting, and I was like, okay. So with sleepy eyes, I went and got like something for her to clean it. And then she was like, can you soak it in water? How am I supposed to? I'm like, soak it in what? But then I was still feeling very sleepy. So I did it. I really, up to now, I soaked it. Oh my God. And then I brought it to her and I was like, okay, take. And then she was really cleaning it with so much force. And I was like, I'm not going to reason what's going to happen to this laptop now. So before I could look back and look at the laptop again, there was a line like on the screen. And I was like, no. I was in denial. I swear I went through like all the 5 stages of grief at that point. I was like, okay, maybe it's just the way she held it, or maybe like the screen, maybe she pressed something. I just didn't want to accept the fact that she just broke it. And then I put it off, I put it back on, I did everything I could.
Why did you soak it in water?
I really don't know.
Why did you actually soak it in water?
I really don't know. I wish I knew, like up till now, if I could reverse. But then like as she was trying to like check what happened, she pushed it back and she broke it again. So like, I know you're wondering like, what does this have to do with anything? So after that happened, we went downstairs and then I mentioned to her that, so if I were the one who did this, how would you have reacted? And she was like, and I was like, no, mommy, how would you have reacted to me breaking this laptop? Because you've been mentioning it since. And she was like, I would actually have been still mad at you. I'm actually sorry. And I was like, oh, she's apologizing. Yeah, exactly. And then we had a whole conversation about it, about how like most of the things she's done in the past have hurt me, blah 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 blah. And I feel like that's where she understands. So that had to happen for that to happen. So all I have to say is maybe your laptop has to break, or maybe your phone has to break for your parents to understand you. Yeah, so I don't think I have any problems with like anybody calling me rude, because my mom would always stand up for me. So I have this teacher, another teacher, XYZ. She likes to they like to make you feel like maybe you're being too extra. Not because you're actually being too extra, but because you're a girl who is being extra. Like for instance, maybe you're playing a sport and you have like a very loud celebration, like maybe you score a goal and you're like, yeah, let's go. She'll just call you and be like, you're a girl. You shouldn't be doing things like this. You shouldn't be shouting like this. And it's like, what are you training girls to be? Do you get, like, she was even calling me to her office one time and she was like, oh, you need to stop shouting. You're a very pretty girl, but no man is gonna want to marry you if you're loud.
Who does that?
And I'm like, do you know my age? Why does marriage have to be my problem at this point? Because I feel like a lot of like older ladies, like older parents, always like to like refer you back to marriage at this age. And like, can you just let me live? Can you let me live?
A lot of people express themselves in different ways. They express themselves, and expressing yourself can also be linked to assertiveness. For like when you're trying to be direct, when you're standing up for yourself, at the same time you're remaining respectful to others and you're not imposing others. You get so now sometimes I might be assertive, you might be assertive, you might be expressing yourself, and people might think that you are rude.
Like I had a whole video talking about it. I feel like people enjoy having people that are very naive around them. Like they like sponges. They just like sponges. Like anybody that will just soak up. Oh, you tell this person, do you know that you look funny? The person will just, oh, I look funny. Well, if somebody is like, what do you mean I look funny? Why do you think I look funny? They'll say, oh, this person, she likes to do the most. She's this. But then like, why
I'm standing up for myself.
Exactly.
And you're telling me that I'm rude.
It doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't make any sense. But then at the same time, like, I've had people that are actually rude. So what do you think? True. I don't know. There's a lot of things that differentiate it. Like somebody being rude and somebody actually expressing themselves. Like I have a friend. She's a really good person. She's very outspoken. But sometimes I think she's just being rude. Like we were trying to practice for our exam and then there was this boy, we were solving math. Like I really don't like math, but then I was like, you know what, this test I'm gonna pass it. So we were solving math And then while he was solving, and like there were objective questions, so he'll be like, oh, number 2 is B, number 1 is A, and then she'll be like, shut up, we already solved it, shut up, we already solved. I'm like, you won't tell him to shut up. That's actually very rude. But like on some other occasions, she's actually being, I don't know. So maybe when we're trying to advise her, like, okay, maybe don't be rude, maybe
I think what she needs to do is that she needs to choose her words. She needs to choose her words like at the right time. She needs to know what she's saying.
Yeah, because she could have easily replaced shut up with, oh, can you let the rest of us solve it first?
Please keep quiet.
Yeah, so you think the problem is words. Yeah, maybe some people don't know how to word things correctly.
True.
I see. Because
also like probably, okay, if 2 parties are arguing, now you need to also develop a listening skill.
She doesn't listen,
so that you can actually understand and you can be able to compromise what the second party is saying. You get, so yeah,
because if everybody is shouting, then like who is listening? What now, I don't think it'll make any sense for us to just stay here and complain for like 10 to 15 minutes without giving you guys any way to like come to common grounds with the adults in your lives. So we're gonna give you tips on how to be a better adult, like to listen to the children in your life or the teenagers in your life. And we're also going to give you tips on how to be a better teenager or how to communicate with the adults in your life. So do you have any tips?
Yes, I do. You have to learn how to choose your words carefully in situations. You have to.
That's for the teenagers, because sometimes you can just be angry but then I don't think you should let your anger get in like what you want to say. Still be smart, have sense.
You have to develop a listening skill, because you can't just, 2 parties can't just be arguing and then it doesn't make any sense.
Nobody will listen.
You have to be humble. You have to be you have to humble yourself and don't take things personally. Just let some comments that don't actually matter, just brush it off, because I mean, you have to. It's
never that deep. It's not all the time that you react. Just maybe sometimes just keep quiet, maybe go back home, reflect, like, is this actually true, or how can I make this something constructive? Word.
And the trick to assertiveness is that, okay, stand up for yourself and also remain respectful. Also be respectful, also be humble. When you're standing up for yourself, don't brag, don't show it that oh yes you get. So I mean, that's it.
And as for the teachers or as for the adults, maybe try to actually listen and understand that anybody can correct you. Like, it doesn't have to be like maybe you can learn from everybody. Exactly. And most of the times we're not saying this to like run down your standards. Like, you could still be a really, really good teacher, but it could just be that one thing. So just imagine that you are an amazing teacher and more. Like, by the time you take our advice, amazing teacher and more. Come on, who doesn't want to be that? So like, and as for like the teenagers or children as well, maybe if you want to like correct your teacher, you can like go with proof. Because I've had a friend, she got something wrong on a test, and then she was trying to explain that, no sir, I'm actually correct, but then the man just wasn't having it. So she had to go all the way upstairs to look for a dictionary, and she brought a dictionary. Actually, she brought a dictionary and she had to show him, and that was when he had to like change the mark for her. So I think you should also come with proof, because most of the time they don't want to hear it. Just come correct. That's it. That's it. Anything else, you learn it while experience is the best teacher. Exactly. So maybe something needs to happen. For something to happen, like I said earlier, your laptop has to break. You have to lose like 5 or 10 marks, because I've lost like 3 marks. I was so close to getting an A, but then I got a B because of like 3 marks on an assignment that I could have submitted. But at the same time, you can't blame the teacher, because like if he keeps doing that for everybody, he gets like nobody will really so something has to happen for something to happen. And so I hope this episode has been able to correct any, clear any bad air or anything. So us teenagers of this generation, we want to be heard, like we want to be listened to, but just maybe try a different approach. What worked for you in your time will most likely not work for us. So please just try to be more understanding, listen more. And yeah, so Claire Mika still remains my name.
Doom slaying it with a fact period.
Bye.